good, Jeff. That beige windbreaker's really lighting up my board.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean by vagina?
God, that woman is a fucking cancer.
Bye, Jeff.
Oh God, here comes that weird little stay-at-home mom.
What the fuck is she wearing?
Hi, guys. Maddie was up all night barfing on my hair, but it's great. I'm very happy.
Gross, I think she's just got her sadness all over me.
Here comes Amy.
Just don't know how you leave your kids all day and go to work.
Oh yeah, but I also need things like money.
Right.
I'll see you guys later.
Just love how hard she works.
Such a hard worker.
I just said that, Vicky.
Got 4 minutes to get Roscoe to the vet, which should be fine. You're super late for your marketing meeting.
I can't believe I'm gonna be late to my first soccer practice.
You having a bad day?
It literally could not get any worse.
Damn.
I called this emergency PTA meeting to address an issue that affects the safety of our children.
Terrorism.
The bake sale. Is this a joke? What's that now?
I can't do this anymore. I'm done.
In this day and age, it's impossible to be a good mom.
Screw it. Let's be bad moms.
I'm in to bad mom.
Get your shit together.
Amy, hi.
I was calling to see if you'd like to join me at the movies this afternoon.
Are we allowed to do that? This has literally been the best day of my life.
Have a great day at school.
Hey, Amy, PTA meeting at 2. Will we see you there?
No.
Bye.
Amy, I run the PTA. Nobody takes a class, kicks a ball, or plays a clarinet unless I say so.
She's a bully. We have to take down these perfect moms.
I say we go punch that chick right in the tits.
Yes.
This is the best PTA meeting ever.
I haven't had sex since my divorce. What if I get someone who's not circumcised?
Oh, I'll show you. This is the foreskin. Peel it back. You just go to town.
What do I do with this?
This is like a giant man clit. Flick it, stick your fucking face on it. It's gonna be like...
I'm not gonna wear this sweatshirt ever again.
Holy fuck! Look at your mom bra!
This is my sexy bra.
You don't even have any cleavage.
Is it bulletproof?
Definitely waterproof.
Is it that bad?
It move.
You guys, it's so comfortable.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, goodness. Annie, Kathryn, thanks so much for being here. Hi. Hello.
Hi, cute audience.
How you guys doing? You
Oh my
okay?
God. Yeah, I just worried my dress was gonna
Do you want me to stand in
go
front? And
fully. No, it's good.
I mean,
Covered.
it would be our honor. If
It would
did.
be, yeah, no, it would just be Spanx. From here to here.
I have to say, you know, I think a lot of people would, it's called Bad Moms, and a lot of people would say, well, you're not the demographic for this movie, which is me. I wouldn't care about that. But I will say, I loved this film. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so sweet and warm, and I don't want to give away the wonderful thing that you guys do at the end of the movie, but you'll never believe it. Bad Moms brought tears to my eyes. And I'm not kissing ass. I know it looks like I'm kissing ass right now, but I really loved it, guys. Congratulations. It's a great, great comedy.
You are a dear and sensitive human.
You owe me $25 for that, guys.
I do.
So talk about getting this script. What did you think when you first read the script?
Well, I mean, the script is written by two amazing gentlemen, ironically, because they really captured something specific. But John Lucas and Scott Moore, my kid...
My whole outfit is falling apart.
Oh my God! We
You
can
look great.
only
It's
hope.
disintegrating.
Because
It's a great outfit.
disintegrating.
You look great.
Oh my
It's
God!
okay.
Wouldn't that be amazing if you're like, woo!
Continue.
My kid, one of my kids goes to school with Scott Moore's children, and actually our amazing costume designer, her daughter, they're all in the same class. And so I knew him as a dad first, and I also knew him through his amazing wife. And reading this, it just read as such a crazy, beautiful love letter to her. So sweet and so specific. And I was also excited to see, like, you know, so often we see mothers with like a kind of a halo around them. You know what I mean? Or just like that they don't exist outside of their children or the experience of their children. And I was so excited to show that, just to kind of tip it. It felt very cathartic.
That mothers need, it's not just about the idea of like mothers needing a break, but mothers, which is kind of a cliche thing, like mothers work so hard and they need a break. It's like, no, mothers have other interests.
I don't know how she does it. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do it all, ladies? How do you do it all? But it's not about that. It's about having other interests outside of your children as well and having the time.
You're still a person. You're still a human being, and you tend to get lost when you have children and family and everything. It's you tend to lose yourself, and I think it's also kind of that checking in, you know, where people get in trouble is when you forget to take yourself into consideration, and you end up, you know.
Yeah, and it's also like, I think what this movie also touched on, for which I resonated with me, was the idea of like what it is, the expectations that we put on ourselves and on each other to try to have a perfect, what motherhood should look like. And when it doesn't feel or look that way, you feel like a failure. And this movie is kind of saying, oh, fuck it. Like,
Being a mom is a full-time job, and if you also work and have a full-time job, then you have 2 full-time jobs, and then anything else that you're doing, it's really not possible to do all that. So something's gonna give.
That's kind of what I loved about the movie, is what Bad Moms kind of comes around to mean for the characters, where sort of as a pitch, Bad Moms, it's like, oh great, you know, moms that are going to get drunk and party really hard. But the idea of what Bad Moms means by the end of the movie, without giving anything away, is actually kind of motivational and beautiful for moms everywhere.
being real mom, like Bad Moms is like almost just means real mom. It just means like
Not being perfect.
not being perfect. Don't stop judging yourself, stop judging others, and just like you just let go and just know that when you do the best you can, that's awesome. Like it's expectations.
Annie, you've written one of the great female led comedies that we've ever had, Bridesmaids.
Wow. Here.
Hey, you guys remember Bridesmaids? Yeah, I don't remember it. It was a blur for me.
Really?
Oh, it's all a blur, yes.
How
I had
so?
2 children in the process of, like, from when we sold the idea to making the movie, through making the movie. It's blacked out.
Really?
Yeah. I remember little bits of it, and I'm glad I took pictures, because I do not remember. I was very pregnant when we shot the movie. I just rolled around. All over the place, and then there was a movie, and then it was very. I hope to someday. Slowly, the memories come back. Yeah, as my kids get older, but.
Someday someone will tell you the story of your life.
Yeah, I did. I made a book for Kristen, and I'm really glad I did that, because I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, we did this. We wrote this. Yeah, it's just full. It's just a complete blur. I don't.
Well, when I saw one of the feelings that I had when I finished watching Bad Moms was like, oh, this is this year's Bridesmaids, which is a wonderful thing to say, because Bridesmaids is such a wonderful movie, but also kind of bad in the sense that there aren't that many just female-led comedies, as many as there are male-led comedies, and so to have a great one, you just immediately go back to one from 4 or 5 years ago, because you don't get them that often, you know? Did you feel that way when you read the script, that this could be kind of like I
felt excited when I read the script that it was an R-rated, approach. I just really like the R movies. It seems closer to my real life. But I was excited to see that it was something very relatable, that I had sort of conveyed my own thoughts and wishes, and I know that ones of my friends, things we talk about and dream of doing, and I saw that in the script, and not only that, I just really responded to the comedy, and John and Scott was so well written that I was instantly, wanted to do it.
How did they pitch your character to you?
Oh, I auditioned for the movie. I didn't get pitched. No, I got sent the script by my agent. I was like, can I audition for this? And then I auditioned, and then I prayed and hoped that I got it, and I got it. So it was not one that was an offer. But no.
There's very few movies where it's every person in the film is pitch perfect, and it seems like all the actors are having actually a great time on set. Everyone says that about movies. Though we had a great time, but this is one of the ones where it's like, oh, I love all of these people in this movie, and they're all great together. Was it a good time while you were shooting it? Because a lot of times when you're making these movies, it feels like the product is going to be really good because of how much fun and how in sync everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, it was in New Orleans in January and February and I think March, and it was definitely like we were laughing like this is what happens when you get a bunch of moms together in January, February, and March. Is like there's some kid is gonna bring up the flu plague into the. So we all got through it. Annie got it the worst. Really? She was so sick.
I was doing most of the movie. I had a high fever.
Yeah, she was in a fever.
So you're not gonna remember this one?
No, I don't remember this one either.
I smell a theme.
Yeah, 104 fever, Tamiflu shots.
Yeah, nuts.
You just.
But it was like delicious. Like you got the hair and makeup trailer was like again, all of us were moms. It was very tame. Like there was no real alcohol. Really, hilarious for a movie that was just so much like on-screen partying. We were like out by 8:30. It was the lamest, tamest. But it was like the best. And all we did was talk. I mean, it was like those poor gentlemen trying to like wrangle us because it was like the dam just burst. Like, there's so many stories to be told.
And you're all moms. I mean, all the actresses in the film are moms and have moms, as we see at one point. So are all of you sort of trading stories? Did any of you bring those stories to the directors or anything to sort of work into the movie or play with?
Oh, no, they are.
Yeah.
Well, did you?
A little. I mean, we didn't really need, it didn't really need any, it was so solid, but we definitely, they were so crazy open and such good listeners. And they did not in any way pretend that they knew what they were talking about because we would have been like, no, you're not mommies. But they were just available. And there was a ton of improvising still, although it wasn't really necessary. Like, not that much was actually ended up being used, but yeah. I totally forgot the question.
Oh, the question was, oh boy.
Oh, I'm going to leave you hanging.
Diarrhea of the mouth.
Did you tell stories? Did they borrow stories, or did they offer your own experience?
No, but it's so like there's so many of them that they were just thank you that it just kind of fed. It was just like, oh yes, this has happened to me. Oh yes, this has happened to me. Oh yes, it's all was crazy relatable. I think.
At your craziest moments or most intense moments as moms, what were your own personal fantasies of what you would want to do with yourself if you weren't being a mom in that moment?
I want to say so many dirty jokes right now. I'm not going to.
Please.
I mean, I love looking at my. There's so many. I like looking at my internet porn. No, I'm kidding. No, but I like looking at.
Fantasy could have meant anything, not like erotic fantasies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I know this.
I like looking at real estate. It's as sexy to me.
I do. I look at. I look at rugs.
Yeah.
Online. Don't know why. I look at them and I imagine what they'll look like in my house. It's just an outlet. Yeah.
Wild and
occasionally
crazy.
I've got the real estate outlet as well. I think that's living in New York City for me, though. Just looking at apartments. Trying to burn.
Brunch, like the idea of a Sunday brunch, like a long, dumb spread the New York Times out.
Yeah.
Have a mimosa, and then it becomes 2. And you just read until 3, and then you go home and sleep for 4 hours.
Oh my God.
And then you get a pizza and watch. Oh my God, you guys, it sounds so good. I'm getting real deep
never
into
had
it.
that.
You're wild. That is wild.
And then watch the last episode of Game of Thrones, which I still have not seen.
We can't have that in my house because my kids there's no laying around. My kids start to turn on each other, like Lord of the Flies. It is. It's been an hour and we haven't had activities happening. It gets violent.
You gotta keep them busy.
Yes. It's like they're at 5:45 in the morning. My
Idle
son's like,
hands.
what am I doing today? Mom, what is my activity? Yeah. Yeah.
Do they call it activities?
It's Sunday. No, activities or what are my plans? Or get up and
We used to
fight
have
me.
special occasions.
Lightsaber.
And special occasions used to just mean watching like having dinner while watching TV. So they'd be like, "Can we have a special occasion?" And then now special occasion is like there's no joy, and we're like, so should tonight just be a special occasion? Because we just don't want to deal. So there's like that used to be the special thing, and now it's like an option, like a special occasion.
And now it's like mom and dad want to talk amongst themselves. We're going to have a special occasion.
All right, kids, tonight's a special occasion, and mom, you do.
Yeah.
Kathryn, talk about your character in this movie. She's she's the wild one of the three.
I play a single mother by the name of Carla Dunkler, and Carla is the mother of a high school age son, junior, almost high school, very smart boy, and she really is kind of unshackled from the societal ideas of shame or guilt for taking care of her own needs and wants. Carla definitely is. I think there's got to be a healthy medium, obviously, but she really just enjoys. She loves her me time.
She likes to party.
24 hours a day.
She likes to party.
She does. She does. She likes it, and she likes a male. John and Scott kind of pitched her as the Gandalf of those women, of the moms. Like she kind of like takes them on this journey into what it is to not feel so, which I thought was hilarious.
I love that. I never thought of it that way. She's guiding them.
I'm guiding them. Yeah.
But she's on her own journey as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She's a guru. You're a guru.
Yes, but I think she's absolutely on her own journey. I think by the end, like she realizes too, like there's got to be because at the end of the day, like it's all such. There's that scene in the movie which I love where all the women they just trash talk their kids for so long, and then it just turns to tears so fast of like, but I love them so much because you love them so madly, like that it is for all of this like the nonsense of like, talking crap about them or just like wanting to get together and needing to vent. The underlying thing is that it's so stupid fast, their childhoods, and it's a heartbreaker to think of them.
I wondered sometimes if that was just me when I was watching the movie, because I have this sort of weird sensitivity when it comes to parenting. I'm not a parent, but I always look at parents, and sometimes if I see a parent and their child is doing something cute or beautiful, I'll be like, how is that parent just not on the floor in tears right now? Because this moment is priceless for them and it's fleeting. But most parents are kind of like, come on, let's go. We have things to do today. And when I was watching the movie, I had moments like that where I was like, this is capturing this feeling that I am scared of when it comes to parenting, which is that I'm always going to be noticing that this is fleeting and that it's moving quickly.
Yeah.
You gotta have have kids. Good.
Am I baby crazy?
Right?
Amazing.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
impressive.
I mean, it's like your heart beats outside your body. Like it's the most intense, and it's like I remember that feeling. It's like this profound feeling of like instant nostalgia for the moment that just happened. Like you just, as it's happening, you're like sad that you just can't believe it. And then, I used to when they were really little. I'm sure like that those hours between like 5 and bedtime are like in fucking eternity. And you just can't wait for them to get to bed. And you want to be by yourself. And then all of a sudden you turn around and he's like, my son's 9 years old. And it's like, oh God, it's the worst.
What you would give for that time between 5 and 9
Yes.
when you were dying for them to go to bed?
Yes.
You still want them to go to bed. But you love them.
Yeah, you still would want them to go to bed for sure.
There's times where I want to freeze time. I always when I'm sometimes looking at, my kids are playing nicely when that happens. But I want to freeze time. And you do kind of catch yourself. And that's why you take so many pictures. Like this is him looking at roly-polies. And now he's looking at more roly-polies. And now we're looking at more. And I took 75 pictures of it because I just think it's cute that he likes to look at roly-polies. And we have all these complicated things going on in our heads, and you're always planning or multitasking and thinking about a million things at once. And a lot of times you're thinking about what has to happen next. Like, okay, well, now we got to get from here to here. Then after this, we're going to have to go, okay, and then we have to go there, and we're going to have to go there. So you're always like, it is really hard to be in the moment
That's why, like, accomplishments, like recitals or whatever the kids are doing when they start doing that.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is that I'm going to be at those things and, like, sure, parents are going to be teary-eyed, but I'm going to be a person standing there and my wife is going to be like, you need to stop now. Everyone is looking at you crying right now. Because it's blubbering.
I cried when
true, it
his
does happen.
umbilical cord fell off. Like, I mean, I was a disaster. I was like, this is the last thing that connected us physically.
Yeah.
Hormones, guys.
Yeah.
So with this movie, when you have, it's really hard to do a sort of broad comedy like this that actually captures some of these really intimate emotions. Were you kind of shocked by their script when you saw that it captured even just sort of fragments of these feelings of actually being a mother, not just a mother looking for an outlet, but a mother who's also nostalgic and emotional about mothering children?
I loved that it had all of those colors to it, because that's really what the experience is. It's all those different things. And you yelling and screaming 1 minute, and then you're crying at a recital 5 minutes later, and then it's all of those things happening all the time. It's a lot.
There's a lot of the movie about when it comes to sort of pressure that mothers feel. Do you feel as mothers, do you guys feel that pressure? Does it feel like a pressure that you put on yourselves, or does it feel like a pressure that comes in societally, as the way that the movie describes it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it sucks to not be with them. You know what I mean? And we were talking about this, I'm lucky, like all the time, but I also feel, and it's not lost on me, and I feel incredibly grateful that when I am not with them, it's because I'm doing something that fills me and that I love, and that I wouldn't be my whole self if I couldn't do that as well. There's a crazy expectation. I remember, like, everything culturally is telling you, like, what you're supposed to feel, what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to curate their experience, like how you're supposed to, and there's so much noise that just, I don't know, you just feel like, God, you gotta, if I could go back to my young mother self, I would have been like, trust your gut, like, you know your kid better than anybody else, and the rest of it is just such nonsense.
Yeah.
Or to those moms that are like, it's like, oh, spend that time on your kid. Like, don't, like, again, it's going to go so fast. Like, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Like, we just are so hard on each other. I think that's why this movie is felt so good to do, is because it just is such a great lesson of, like, letting go of that. Just like, don't worry, you're going to fail, and that's okay. Like, none of us are perfect, and that is in itself, like, so beautiful and perfect.
Absolutely.
I got judged because I had C-sections, which I didn't want or plan, but, like, I ended up with a C-section the first time, and it was, people are like, oh, well, I had mine natural. So what's that like? It was very sort of like, oh, you already failed you just got off the.
Yeah, there's some crazy conspiracy
like
about C-sections that causes, like, early trauma for the baby, which is so unbelievably stupid for anyone to believe. And I could imagine someone actually saying that to you and you being like,
so many people did you choose? Oh, so you didn't do the, and I couldn't. I mean, we had Kathryn. You had him. We both had C-sections, but the not by choice, and it was just the way the births went. And it's like, well, I could have pushed the baby out, and then I would have died, and then I wouldn't be here. But
right, it's like your confidence is so fragile as a new mother anyway. Than just to be told, we gotta just be nicer to each other, ladies.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, just there's always little stuff like that you don't anticipate, that you find yourself thinking about, like, oh, I failed here, and I didn't know that was gonna, that was an issue that I was going to be judged on, or, so it's weird.
I'm going to open up to the audience for questions. Who has some questions? Preferably
hey
about the movie and not about motherhood, which I waste a lot of time on with them.
Well, I was going to ask, when you became moms, did you guys appreciate what your moms went through, and is it different now in this new, like, in this generation than, like, what your parents went through or your moms went through?
Oh, for sure. I mean, yes, I think there is, yeah, for sure. I mean, my mom also, like, it was a whole different, my mom even told me yesterday she smoked in the labor room while she had me. So there was a different generation for sure. But, yeah. I mean, I think this movie is such a perfectly encapsulates what it is to be a mom right now, and it resonates in not even just, you know, even if are not a parent. I think it also like just encapsulates what this culture is. You know, just society and the internet and blogs and all this stuff. It just kind of shows you an idea of perfection and an ideal that's very hard to live up to.
We didn't have car seats, really. We didn't have car seats. We would just have like 15 kids in the back of a station wagon. Everyone's climbing over the seats, and I just remember my mom.
The way back.
Yeah, the way back. And then I just remember getting a lot of threats. I was going to get smacked.
Yeah,
You can't do that now.
Me too.
You cannot do that. No, even if you're thinking, no. No, I'm going to smack you. It worked on us, but it's
Worked on me.
different now. No, you have to reason with your kids. And you have to talk, you know, about how do you feel about what you just said to your brother? It was terrible.
I think
You have to. No.
I think I got one smack when I was growing up, like one real smack, and I was done.
You never had to get smacked
And
again.
I don't advocate smacking at all, but that
No.
smack fucking set me straight.
Yeah, I did too, by the way. My mom took me into the bathroom once. She said I was being a nightmare, and I was like 3 years old, and we were at a restaurant, and I took my soup, and then I threw my bowl on the floor, and she took me into the bath. She was ready to. My family is Italian, so she was ready to go, and then the lights went out in the bathroom, and I thought that was like her special powers. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Mommy, I'm sorry. And I started to cry, and she was like, it was divine intervention saved you that day, because you were going to I was going to get whooped. Yeah, so, you get, but then after that, same thing. She would threaten to take me to the bathroom, and then.
And turn the lights off.
Yeah. We take you in there.
I had just learned the F word, and I used it on my mother in the car, and I was 10, and my dad was driving, pulled the car over, got back on the road, just started driving. Sorry, Dad, I love you so much.
But those 3 seconds.
It was the end of story. It was the end of the story. Like.
That's it. There was a wooden spoon thing back then, too.
Now look,
I don't know.
it's the F word now still, so we really packed a punch. You don't swear that much.
I've used the F word already while I'm on the stage, but since we're talking about my mom, I couldn't use the actual word that time. Sorry, Mom. I love you both.
My mom will own up to her threats. She'll own up to it.
Oh, my dad will laugh, but he'll love it. Next question.
Hi, thanks for being here. I have a question not about moms. You guys have such great comedic timing as actresses. Like, I love to watch you guys. Is that something that you kind of just have an instinct towards, or it's something you've honed over your career?
I mean, for me, it was a survival tactic, I think. I certainly wasn't like, didn't go into it as a comedian, anything like that. I had I think in my family, it was just like, that was like we just played rough, I think.
That was the same for me as well. Yeah, a lot of people around, and you had to, in order to get your,
But Annie, you also came from the Groundlings too, didn't you?
I did come from the Groundlings, yeah. I did, but that was more of it is a school for comedy school, I guess. But I sort of, at that point, I don't know. Yeah, there was training there as well. But I think I was at it more. I just didn't know I was. Yeah. You know? Then you find a place, and this place is like people like me here.
Right.
We're all crazy, and it was good. It was
Kathryn, you didn't start as a comedic actress, though, right? Did you come in as drama initially?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I think I don't even know when I came into it, but I definitely started as I wanted to just do theater, but I was always a class clown, I think, so I should have smelled it then, but I've been grateful to be able to kind of slip around both.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we have time for one more question.
Hey, ladies. I was wondering, Kathryn, which character do you think, well, which mother that you've played do you think is the most unhinged? Alice from Step Brothers or Carla from this movie here, Bad Moms?
Unhinged, Alice. For sure.
Can I ask a question about? I love Step Brothers so much. That movie, I've heard stories that you guys were improvising, just like Adam McKay does not let anybody stop improvising.
It could have been so many different movies. Like there's no, like that scene where John and I like have the kiss at the John C. Reilly and everything. It went, there were some runs that were like, we were gonna run off together and it was like we were planning Derek's death in graphic detail. Like it went on for, yeah, it could have been, yeah, that really cracked. I never knew, that was my like entree, I guess, to any sort of comedy world like that. I was like, you don't have to stand on a mark or like say what's, it just felt so lawless and I loved it.
Guys, Bad Moms is so great. I loved it. I think it's one of the funniest movies of the year. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It comes out
Thank you.
July 29th in theaters, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
July 29th, Bad Moms Day.
Here goes my clothes.